Hello and welcome to the premiere episode of Coastlines, the new television program from the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. I'm Michael Kasparian, president of the Falmouth Chamber, and we want to take this opportunity to thank our guest, Jeff Nickerson, our chairman of the board, who's here with us today.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here today, Jeff.
Sure.
You know, you lead the Chamber's board of directors in its mission, and you know, you've been around town for a while, and you're an attorney, partner with the law firm of Oppenheim and Nickerson. And you know, it'd be nice, I think, for the folks if you talked a little bit about yourself and some of your interests and hobbies and what else you do here in Falmouth.
Sure. Well, I'm very lucky to be on the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. Been the chairman now for a year. Working with you has been wonderful as the president. You've been here for about a year and a half now as well. Right. Professionally, I am a lawyer. Oppenheim and Nickerson is our law firm. We're transactional practice here in town. My family lives in town. My wife and my daughter and I live up in North Falmouth. It's a great community. We've really enjoyed our time here.
Yeah, I think that's the nice part about this community is that people come together and work and collaborate. I think that's pretty indicative of our board. The board is widespread and represents all different aspects of businesses. A little bit, do you find that there's an even balance between businesses that cater to year-round residents as well as the tourism industry?
I think we have to. I think the board really tries to get a good feel for what the town needs and what we can do to really further the interests of our members, which is really what the Chamber's here for. We're not here just to worry about folks who are here for the summer. We're here year-round.
You know, that's a good point, because a lot of the questions I get, really, what does the Chamber do for people who are non-members? And we talk a little bit about, obviously the business aspect,
sure,
how we're here to support our business members and we're here to support tourism. But as far as community, what's your sense and your feel about the Chamber's involvement in other community activities?
Well, I think it's important for us to represent the interests of our members, and the best way we can do that is by interjecting ourselves into the community and making sure that the community knows where our members' interests lie. It's a very open community. People aren't afraid to discuss the concerns that they have and where they would like to see things going. And I think it's important for the Chamber to be right there and partner with the community to make sure that matters that interest the whole community really do get moved forward in a productive way.
Yeah, that's been one of the highlights of my job working with the board and working with the staff and the members of the Chamber is really this whole sense of community and bringing things together. I know over the last several years, particularly my predecessor, Jay Zavala, had reached out and really started working very closely with Falmouth Public Schools.
Sure.
And when you talk to a lot of chambers around, which I have come in contact with not only in the Commonwealth but across the nation, a lot of the chambers aren't involved in the schools. And I think that's really indicative of how this chamber has reached out into the community. And would you feel as though that that's something that the community itself has embraced?
I think so. I mean, the students that are in our schools now are going to be our workforce in years to come. So I think it's really important to keep in mind that connection. Every business in town has a vested interest in making sure that we have a strong school system. And the schools have been a great partner in that, whether it's working for the Credit for Life Fair with Cape Cod 5, right, or getting the kids out there, seeing them do community service and volunteering their time with things like the Falmouth Road Race. It's important not just to have these kids be strong academically, but have them be strong members of our community.
Yeah. And it's interesting you mentioned the Cape Cod 5 Credit to Life Fair over at Falmouth High School. We're going to be talking a little bit about that later and showing some clips on that, which is really, really neat. So now I know you've worked really hard. You've been on the board for several years now. You've been chairman. This is your second year as our chairman.
Sure. And
we're bringing on some new directors at the annual meeting. What, in your opinion, what's your vision moving forward, the board, what you'd like to see the board and the chamber accomplish in the community and to our member businesses going forward?
Right. I really want to make sure that our members know that we're here for them. They're not here to serve us. We need to know what they need us to do and what avenues we can open up for them, whether that's through forums or more direct discussions with folks who are in town hall, other business leaders. It's really important that our members recognize and appreciate the fact that we can do what they want us to do. We just need to have a good line of communication with them to know what the expectations are so that we can really meet and exceed what their hopes are.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also, during your tenure, we've had several forums and done a lot of community outreach, not only to our members, but to the community.
Sure. I
think the feedback's been very positive. Whether or not people agree with all the issues, at least people have had an opportunity to come in and speak.
Right.
How about the educational aspect and the Chamber's role and responsibility in providing education to our members and to the community as well?
Sure. Well, we have a very strong business education series, which we really think is a nice benefit to our members and even to folks who aren't members, because you get access to people who are experts in their fields on a given topic, whether it's banking, healthcare, legal issues, accounting. we have all these people who are our members, and we can really rely on them to come in and educate the people in our community so they can advance their business interests.
Sure, sure. You know, I think one of the neat things is when we talk to other chambers, leadership in other chambers, we talk a little bit about Falmouth. Falmouth is neat because we are kind of our own little world down here, which is very wonderful. 33,000 people. I mean, soon we're going to be 100,000 people.
Sure.
You know, I had read an interesting statistic. I think it's just over 40% of the homes are second homes. So I think the chamber's role has been very unique in not only addressing the needs of the tourists that do come in here for the 10-week period, and then of course the shoulder season in the spring and the autumn, but also the year-round residents. And you know, I've really enjoyed working with the board and trying to reach out and do more. When new members come on board, do you have any advice as to, you know, what they should do in order to take advantage and get the most benefit from their membership of the chamber?
I've always found that the best opportunity you have as a new member is to make yourself as active as possible. It's going to be what you make it into.
Yeah.
If you want to participate, you're going to get the most out of your membership. If you just want to have it something that's listed on your website, that's okay too. But if you really want to dig in, we have business after hours that you can attend. Stop by and see the staff, bounce ideas off the staff. Michael's a great resource for anybody who might have questions about what to do as a new business in town.
Great.
And you know, really use our members and the board as a resource. If you have a question, reach out to us. We've got a great membership directory, great website.
Yes.
Click around there, really make it, you know, to your benefit to be part of this chamber, because that's what we're here for.
Great, that's one. Yeah, and with new members, and we had that recent new member benefit orientation. You know, we were very, very fortunate to partner with Atria, who's our community partner, and they hosted the event, had it there. I know you were there, I was there. We had a really good time. It was great to have all these new members come out, meet with our ambassadors, meet with our staff, meet with our directors, and you know, we actually have some footage from that. We have Donna Sickler, who is the regional vice president who runs that facility, talking a little bit about her experience at Atria. So let's take a look at that.
Thank you everyone for being here. We are so excited for everyone to be here. As you know, Atria has been a part of the Falmouth community for a little over 20 years. We are so thankful to be a part of that community and the community at large, and we attribute a lot of our success to our partnership with the chamber. We truly believe that what we invest into our partnership with the chamber and also the community at large is what we get back. So best of luck to you in your membership year. We're looking forward to continuing to develop relationships and see lots of familiar faces out there. Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. You know, Donna Sickler talking a little bit about, you know, Atria and the involvement here with the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. They've been our community partner going on 3 years. Just have done an amazing job. And you know, what are some of, from your perspective, what are some of the you know, benefits that they've been able to provide for the community and you know, helping us at the chamber?
Well, I think we have to start with what a first-class facility it is. I mean, it's really wonderful over there. If people haven't had a chance to check it out, it's really worthwhile. And I think one of the really nice things is that the residents over there have the opportunity to have their family and friends stop by for lunch. I know there's a lot of folks who stop in to see their parents or aunts or uncles, and it's really a very welcoming place for these seniors who are residents.
And it's always nice whenever we're there to see Betty Bailey, who was, you know, a fixture at the chamber. I'm sure everybody that's watching this program knows Betty Bailey, who's a resident at Atria, and she just can't rave enough about it and has had a wonderful experience. So, you know, half the fun of going there all the time is having Betty come up and talk a little bit about her experiences there. So, you know, you're right. I know that if anybody wanted to go and take a tour, they would be open to showing people around, and we just really are pleased and proud to partner with them, and they've done an awful lot for us.
Yeah, they've been a great partner, and we hope it continues for a long time.
Yeah, great. Well, I really want to thank you for being here with us today. I mean, it was really, it was great. Thank you for coming in, explaining a little bit, and for all you do for the Falmouth Chamber and the members of the Falmouth Chamber.
I was glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great.
Right on.
Thank you, Jeff.
Take care.
Okay, great. Well, we also took some time. We were talking to Stephen Peters of Smoke Signals, who's not only an ambassador of the Chamber, but a longtime member. And when the Chamber was looking to rebrand our logo, we reached out to Stephen Peters to get some advice, and what ended up happening was he took the project on and actually not only did a new logo for the Chamber, but did a rebranding. We did have him into the office not that long ago after he delivered some of the final products, when we were talking to him. You probably see the new logo on our letterhead, on name badges, all over on the building. So, but if you haven't seen it, you can go online and check it out. But here's Stephen Peters talking a little bit about the thought process behind it, what he did to rebrand the chamber. So I'm delighted to be with Stephen Peters, who's the principal of Smoke Signals, full-service communications company here on Cape Cod. Stephen's an ambassador of the Falmouth Chamber, longtime member of the Falmouth Chamber. So when we decided we wanted to do a complete rebranding, we asked Stephen to come in and give us some advice, and it turned out that he was able to take the whole project and finish it for us. We were a little concerned that somewhere in the past, the logo was changed to take the lighthouse and the sailboat elements out of our logo, and we thought that that was kind of odd because tourism is a big part of what we do here at the Falmouth Chamber. So we have Stephen here today, and we're going to have him tell us a little bit about his thought process and how he was able to do the rebranding for the Chamber.
We were super excited actually when the Falmouth Chamber approached us and said, you know, we're thinking about rebranding. And like Michael had said, one of the things they wanted to do was bring back some of the elements from some older versions of the logo, which we thought was a really cool idea. What we did at that point was really sit down and say, okay, how do we start to take some of those traditional elements from the older versions of the logo, such as the lighthouse and the sailboat, and combine them back into one single graphic identifier. And that's really what this was all about, was finding that one single graphic image that conveyed the history of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce with its vision for the future as well. And so what we came up with was something that was a little bit of a nod to the past, but being contemporary in style as well, so that it starts to work in smaller and electronic formats for things like Facebook and Twitter, but also still can work well when it's embroidered on a shirt, and certainly on business cards and letterhead and things like that. That was the main goal, and what we ended up coming up with was the logo that you have now, which is the Nobska Lighthouse with a sailboat sailing in front of it, which is sort of an impressionistic design that worked well. We were very happy with how it came out. We relied on a lot of feedback from the Falmouth Chamber, and that really guided the creative process for us, was the direction that the Falmouth Chamber gave, and then the feedback that we got as we started to go through some of the different design concepts. Certainly when we started the process, we didn't have necessarily this design nailed down. We actually had 3 or 4 different designs that we took a look at, and through that process we whittled it down to the one design that we have now. So the feedback that we got from the Falmouth Chamber, the board, the staff, was extremely helpful for us as we were guided through that creative process. Font's extremely important when you start talking about branding. So we took a look at the older fonts that you had in there, and they had some issues when it came back to repurposing them in certain formats, specifically on embroidery and smaller formats as well. And so we knew we wanted a font that worked well, and we needed something with a little bit thicker lines. And so that was really the process behind why we decided to change the font up slightly on this. But at the same time, the font that we ended up going with still has a little bit of the older feel to it as well. Yeah, the colors are extremely important, that we hold those colors consistent. And so we took a look at the colors that had been used over previous versions of the logo, and we chose 2 that we felt we could hold consistent going forward. And colors for the branding purposes is extremely important. So the blue really is something kind of from the ocean, and then the yellow is a little bit more from the sun. And so we brought those two elements, which are extremely important to Falmouth and what Falmouth is, and took them and ran with them in this version of the logo. Yeah, I completely understand why the Falmouth Chamber wanted to have the Nobska Lighthouse in its logo. I mean, it's a shining beacon of Falmouth, and at the same time it's sort of symbolic of looking forward and being protective as well of Falmouth and its assets. And that's really what the Falmouth Chamber does. I mean, they're here for its members to make sure that we're able to continue to prosper and grow as small businesses right here on Cape Cod and in Falmouth to it. The final product that we came up with, it's designed to be fun for some people to look at. At the first glance, you notice the lighthouse, but a lot of people don't necessarily notice that there's a sailboat with the bottom of the sailboat also included in that design. So it takes them a moment to process that and say, oh wow, actually yeah, there's a sailboat that's sailing in front of that lighthouse. The importance of having the sailboat there for us was to show some movement forward, that the Falmouth Chamber is here to move its members forward, and the logo had to show some action within it as well. So that was really key for us for having that there. We then added to the Nobska Lighthouse, we added the light shining out over Falmouth. So that's designed to be shining out over Falmouth and its businesses, sort of as a safety net and an umbrella. Which again, the Falmouth Chamber is here to serve its members and make sure that they have all of the assets and resources that they need to succeed. And so that's sort of the thought process between those elements that were in there. So I'm a longtime Cape Cod resident, born and raised right here. Went to Falmouth High School, went off to college, got a degree in marketing and communications, and that sort of gave me a foundation for where I'm at now. That foundation really started to grow when I came back to the Cape and took really my first job out of college at the Marine Biological Laboratory down in Woods Hole. And while I was there, I was just a communications assistant, and super excited to have the job, and wonderful, smart people that I was there working with. But they gave me this project, and it was to develop a calendar every week of events, and there were a ton of events that were taking place. And they introduced me to this product within that was called InDesign, and it was part of the Adobe Creative Suite. And I fell in love with InDesign. I was like, oh my God, this tool is amazing. And so, over the course of the couple of years that I was working at the MBL, I really started to immerse myself in InDesign and fell in love with it. After that, I took some jobs with some colleges, was the Director of Communications and Marketing for a college out in Newton, where I got to work with the entire creative suite within the Adobe package. So we had InDesign, and I started to play around with Illustrator and Photoshop as well. And that's been sort of my base and my love, is that product, Adobe's products. And now where I'm at, where I have my own company with some wonderful teammates that we work with, but I still get to play with those products, and that's really where I've been very fortunate, because I found something that I'm really passionate about, which is telling a story and telling it creatively, and a package of tools that allow me to actually do that. So that's sort of been my process to get where I'm at, and now I couldn't be happier. It's a dream come true. I mean, living and working on the Cape with a wonderful group of clients is the best. I can't say that enough. The Falmouth Chamber has done wonderful things for helping me grow my business. It's been there supportive of every step of the way, and we're very, very fortunate. And thank you for letting us do this logo.
Was that terrific? I mean, that's like my favorite logo, not just because it's the Falmouth Chambers, but what an amazing job he did, and the whole branding scheme. So we were very, very pleased. So prior to meeting with Stephen, we took a ride out to Hatchville, as you know, with spring in the air finally after this winter. Not a lot of snow, but clearly wasn't a great spring. But now it's starting out with the warmer temperatures, and with the lambs arriving and all the other flowers popping up. We spoke to Ron Smallwitz over at Coonamessett Farm. There's a lot going on over there, and he took the time to tell us a little bit about what's happening and what people can expect this season coming up.
Hi, I'm Ron Smallwitz. I'm the owner of Coonamessett Farm here in Falmouth, in the Hatchville area of Falmouth, and we grow berries and vegetables, cut flowers and herbs, and we have livestock. We raise turkeys for Thanksgiving, and we have wool-bearing animals, alpacas and sheep, and a number of miniature donkeys and small Nigerian dairy goats and chickens, primarily for egg production. We have the farm is a membership farm, and you could join the farm for a year or buy a day pass if you're just visiting the Cape. And you could pick your own vegetables, harvest eggs, and in general just visit the animals and tour the greenhouses. We have 6 greenhouses here on the farm. We have a cafe. It's more of a self-service breakfast and lunch. And we have a general store selling our products and groceries and gifts, toys, farm-related toys for children and games. We have some books. We have canoes available for rent. We're on a 200-acre pond, Coonamessett Pond. And in general, it's a good way to spend the day. During the summer, July and August, we have Friday night, evening buffets, and where we prepare dishes using our farm products and have entertainment. Those usually run from 5 to 9 p.m. And if you come for a buffet, day passes included. You can tour the farm and have dinner all in one eventful evening. One of the things that the farm is known for is being a wonderful venue for weddings. A lot of people are interested in get married in an outside farm venue instead of inside a building. And the farm, we host ceremonies as well as provide the venue available for you to bring in an outside caterer. One of the venues for ceremonies, it's hard to see now, but when the season warms up, we have lots of flowers. It's a very pretty environment for a wedding ceremony. And we also host smaller events, high school reunions, corporate dinners, 50th wedding anniversaries, 90th birthday parties. There's a host of activities that we would provide a wonderful venue for our guests.
Hi, I'm April. Welcome to Coonamessett Farm. Can't wait to see you this summer.
So that's a lot of fun. You know, my kids call it Vermont and Falmouth. It's just wonderful over there. We love to be there with the animals and everything that's going on, whether it's for a cup of coffee or stopping by. And I'll tell you, we had our Thanksgiving turkey there last year. It was a hybrid wild turkey and domestic turkey. It was just best turkey I ever had. Fantastic. So when you're in the area, stop by and visit Ron and the folks over at Coonamessett Farm. You know, our next visit to our next member was a little closer downtown on Main Street. You know, we were curious to see how things were going over at Eastman since they had expanded and put in their kitchen facility. So we spoke to Len Hunt. We caught up with him. He gave us a little bit of a background on the thought behind expanding into the kitchen area, and we had a good time. Very bright and colorful. If you haven't visited them, it's a great place to go. And here's Len Hunt talking a little bit about the kitchen part of Eastman's Hardware.
We've been open a year now on this side of the Eastman's, our kitchen store. We always had a nice big kitchen department, but we saw a need. We had to expand. The space became available, so we jumped on it. It's just been a great thing for our store. Everyone has had such positive comments about it. We're selling all kinds of great kitchen gadgets. We have our kitchen club, which gets people 10% off every day of the week and free knife sharpening, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
You know, I noticed that there's a large, you know, you have a big selection. You have the gamut. You have very high-end things. You also have everyday things. And obviously, you're doing that on purpose to appeal to everyone.
Absolutely. You have to have about 3 different price points. Sometimes we have 4, because there's a lot of high-end items in the store and a lot of items that are, you know, a $1, you know, peeler. So you have to go in a lot of different directions to make it successful. We did a really nice job with the product mix, and today color sells. So all the vendors are putting out a lot of colorful products, so that helps as well. Our group has been here for 10.5 years now, and the community has been fantastic. Of course, Chuck Eastman still owns the property, and the store's been here for 104 years, I think it is now. So it's been such a great experience working for the last 10.5 years with everyone in the community. Our store hours are open 7:30 to 5:30, Monday through Saturday, Sundays 10 to 4:30. Of course, we have a full-service hardware store, lawn and garden department, paint department, fasteners, and we have a great staff that all they want to do is help people solve their problems. That's really what we do. Our business during tourism season, at least doubles. I think population-wise, it's about 100,000 people over the summertime. So you can imagine what that does for store traffic here in the summer. On a Saturday in summer, we'll have around 600 transactions, which is unbelievable. That doesn't include people that don't purchase anything, people that we're just giving advice to. So it's unbelievably busy June, July, and most of August. I've been doing this for 38 years. Jackie, who most people in town know, has been here for 19 years. Zach, who is our other manager besides Jackie, has been here for 6 years. And most of the other guys have been here for anywhere from 5 to 8 years. So there's a lot of things to learn in this business, and it takes a lot of longevity to get it all, and they have.
Yeah, what I thought was so amazing about what Len had to say was the longevity of the employees there. Every time you go in there, the same friendly, smiling faces. Always a pleasure to go to Eastman's and visit the other Main Street merchants and members of the Falmouth Chamber along Main Street. A really good time. What Jeff Nickerson had spoken about earlier, some of the collaboration with the Chamber and the Falmouth Public Schools, the thing that we've done for the 3rd year is the Cape Cod 5-cent Savings Bank Credit for Life Fair, sponsored, of course, by Cape Cod 5, which they do across Cape Cod. 3 years ago, they came into the Falmouth community and put together the program at Falmouth High School. It was a tremendous success right from the very beginning, and we were very honored and pleased that the Chamber, then Jay Zavala, who was president of the Chamber, led the charge. And what we were able to do was collaborate with Falmouth Public Schools and Cape Cod 5-cent Savings Bank, getting businesses together to talk about credit, life, and how they come together. So I spent some time with Mary Gans, the principal of Falmouth High School, and to ask her to speak a little bit about the event, and this is what she had to say. Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, president of the Falmouth Chamber. I'm here with Falmouth High School principal Mary Gans. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome. We're here for the 4th annual Credit to Life Fair that is hosted here at Falmouth High School, sponsored by Cape Cod 5-cent Savings Bank. Falmouth Chamber's been involved the last 4 years, and I just really wanted to ask Ms. Gans, what does this mean for you and the school, and how's it going?
This year, this is my first year actually with it. It's phenomenal, although I've had my own students go through the Credit for Life, and my older daughters always enjoyed it. They came home with such great stories about it. What I think is wonderful is seniors really start to get an idea of what it's like to leave high school and what the next steps are, between the budgets they have to create, you know, the jobs that they look into. It's a great exploratory event for them. And I thank you, Cape Cod 5-cent Savings Bank, and Janet Rocha, our teacher, who puts this together, is amazing.
She's done an amazing job.
Yes.
And I really have to say, the 4 years we've been doing it, every year it's been super, it's been fantastic, but this senior class you have, outstanding.
Oh, thank you.
Dressed professionally, came in with good questions. I think that we don't have to worry about these kids. They're going to go out there and be successful.
They are a great group, and it was funny. I was just talking to one of the boys, and he said, I'm very happy to see that I'm going to make a good salary, and I'll even have some room for some fun things to do in my salary. So,
all right.
Thank you, Mr. Kasparian. I really enjoyed it.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, my daughter Phoebe, my oldest daughter, is a freshman at Falmouth High School, and I can't wait until it's her time to go through the Credit for Life Fair. Because we're talking about it a lot at home anyway, but it's really nice, I think, the impact to get out there and meet with all these professionals from the community. And a lot of the parents that we've spoken to are really appreciative of all that the Cape Cod 5-cent Savings Bank and Falmouth Public Schools have done to help their kids prepare when they get out into the real world. So not always an easy thing, but they're there to help. One of the things that continues to grow and amaze us is the campus over at the Falmouth Museums on the Green. You know, they boast the oldest building on the Falmouth Village Green, the Conan House. You know, they have the 18th century Francis Wicks House, the barn, and then of course the wonderful cultural center that they had put on a couple of years ago. They're in the middle of a capital campaign right now, and they've completely restored the oldest part of the Conan House, adding a new addition on the back, which has really just done a wonderful job in tying that campus together and bringing it together around the Colonial Garden that the Falmouth Garden Club maintains. We caught up with Mark Schmidt. We wanted to catch an idea of how the progress was going and some of the challenges they may have come across, and talk to him a little bit about why the Historical Society had decided to move forward and do this. And we were very surprised to find just how beautifully it just tied in, and the grassroots effort that they really had in putting this together. So Mark Schmidt spent some time and explained to us. Yeah, that was great. The tour was great. I'm here with Mark Schmidt, the Executive Director of Falmouth Museums on the Green. We're here overlooking this beautiful property in the campus, some exciting changes, improvements, renovation going on at Conant House, and we wanted to meet with Mark, take a tour, and have Mark tell us, you know, everything that's going on here.
Well, thank you, Michael. I don't know if I can tell you everything that's going on, but we open up for the season on June 6th. We're open up through October. And for those that don't know, the Conant House, which is originally built in 1730, the oldest house on the town green, has been undergoing restoration and renovation work. And for those who haven't seen it, the actual size of the building will not change, but what we will have is archival storage that will take a good care of all the paper goods, maps, diaries, documents, letters that we've accumulated over time. We'll have a research library. We'll have expanded exhibit space, expanded office space. The change of the building opening the building will now face the new cultural center, so people will actually know how to get to the Conant House. We'll take better care of our members this way. We'll take better care of our artifacts. And we'll make sure that the oldest building that's on the town green will be around for at least another 100 years for people to enjoy. So we're really excited about this. We've got a lot of changes going on the campus. We already think it's a beautiful 2-acre place to visit, but it'll be even better for people to come and see when they're here. And this project should be finishing up in August of 2016. So we'll be reopening to the public probably around Labor Day, and we really invite the public to participate in this because they're the ones that helped make this happen. For those who haven't been here, our cultural center opened up in December 2012. That's where we have all our private and public events, our lectures, our kids and adults programs, private rentals. The 1790 Dr. Francis Wick's house will be open for tours, for guided tours. The Hallett Barn Visitor Center, where we have our gift shop, our introductory video, our walking tours will happen every Tuesday and Thursday, weather permitting, all throughout the summer. Our trolley tours will happen after Labor Day. We have a whole host of things, including our Around the Sound cruise on June 6th. Any number of events that you can go onto our website, museumsonthegreen.org, and we invite everyone to come down and check us out.
When you're sitting here in the middle of this campus with this beautiful gazebo overlooking that colonial garden, the thought and care that was put into this is very apparent. But could you talk a little bit about, you know, the process and what it took, the vision, and who participated in that?
Sure. I'm glad you mentioned the gardens. I neglected to talk about that. The Colonial Gardens and Memorial Park, which are very thoughtfully and carefully taken care of by the Falmouth Garden Club. The ladies here are here all the time, and they've been doing this since 1947. And that's free and open to the public. People can come in and check us out. They can sit in the gazebo, have lunch. People do it all the time. So we offer things that are free as well as guided tours that you can just hang out. And we draw literally thousands of people each summer to make sure that they just get to check out what has happened in Falmouth, what's currently happening in Falmouth. And what we would also like to have happen is once the Conant House is done, we will try to make sure that we improve our wayfinding, so there's better signage, better pathways so people can know all the different buildings that are going on. As the amount of tourism increases towards 2020, when it's the 400th anniversary of pilgrims coming to Provincetown and to Plymouth, we know that there's going to be an increase in visitation to the Cape, so we are certainly getting ready for that. We know that Falmouth is going to draw a lot of people, because once they've come to Plymouth and checked out everything there, they're going to realize that they're going to cross the bridge and they're really close to all the things that this town has to offer. So we want to make sure that we're a vital part of that, and we hope that these changes to the campus have made us a better part of the business community downtown, to the visitation community downtown, and just being a better neighbor to all the people that, the townsfolk, the businesses, everything that's been a vital part of Falmouth's downtown since this place was incorporated in 1900.
Now, I know also that the Museums on the Green Historical Society has been a very strong and involved partner with Falmouth Public Schools. Mm-hmm. And I know they hear a lot. Can you talk a little bit about the programs and really how this organization really enhances the residents, not only the visitors, we've talked a lot about the visitors, but how your mission here and what you do really enhances the residents and the people who live here in Falmouth?
Yeah, good point, Michael. Education is in our mission statement. It's one of the things that we do and we take great pride in. Anybody who's had a third grader in the Falmouth Public Schools know that all the third graders come here for field trips and they learn about how what was going on in our whaling past as well as our agricultural past. We also work with the middle schools taking field trips to the schools and telling them what was going on back in the day. The high schools have actually had programs here. In fact, as we're speaking, they're setting up a new ceramics exhibit with the Falmouth High School ceramics departments have a new exhibit, so that'll be coming up later in April. So we're pretty excited about that. So all throughout the different schools, as well as Falmouth Academy, we make sure that students are welcome. We do the Catherine Lee Bates Poetry Fest, in which all the school kids from from K through 12, as well as Falmouth Academy, are invited to write poems to honor Catherine Lee Bates. Adults are doing this as well. So we try to make sure that it's not just a third grade field trip. We try to take care of elementary, middle, and high school levels and try to incorporate what we do with their curriculum as well, so that they understand the importance of history, so it doesn't get forgotten, that it's not necessarily part of standardized testing, but people should appreciate what was happening in this town in the not so long ago past as well as the long ago past. Obviously Catherine Lee Bates gets a ton of deserved credit for her role in Falmouth, but strangely enough, my personal favorite would probably be Rachel Carson, being the environmentalist down in Woods Hole. I think that her impact went far beyond just Falmouth's time, and making sure that people understood the necessity for keeping things green. So I think there's a Falmouth resident that we don't often remember as much as we should. So in addition to all the famous whaling captains and people like Elijah Swift, who created the downtown as well as the economy, I think Rachel Carson's a more modern example of somebody who's made a real positive impact on Falmouth and the world.
One of the benefits that we do offer our members is the opportunity to host Business After Hours, which is our monthly networking opportunity. Always takes place on the third Thursday of every month. We do have a waiting list, so any member business that wants to host a Business After Hours is free to call Maura Aldridge, our Vice President of Tourism and Membership Development, at the office and get on the list and work with her on hosting an event. In each one of these networking events, we also have an opportunity for a featured nonprofit. Well, a lot of people don't know that there are 75 nonprofit members of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. We don't just cater to for-profit businesses, but a lot of the organizations that provide important, valuable services for the residents and visitors of the town, our members of the Chamber. They see the value of the membership of the Chamber of Commerce, and we work in collaboration with them as well. It's really neat at a Business After Hours, and you can have a nonprofit there. Educating people about what they do, what's important, and it's being hosted by a business member of the community of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. So last month it was at Crane Appliance and Sound and Vision. A really great time as usual. Whenever we're over at Crane, we have a great time. They do them from time to time. If anybody is interested in hosting a Business After Hours, it's just great to get in touch with us. We'd love to have you. We generally have anywhere from 100 to 150 people come. Non-members are also welcome. There's never a cost for members. Non-members do pay a nominal fee, but they're always welcome to come, meet members of the Chamber, meet our staff, meet our board of directors and ambassadors, and learn really just what the Chamber has to offer them. Some of the future upcoming Business After Hours that we have coming up, we'll have this year, every other year, we have a cruise on the Island Queen. That's coming up in the autumn, which is really great. As we saw earlier, we've had them at Atria Woodbriar, Atria Senior Living, and we're looking forward to the other ones coming up at the end of the year. I'd like to take an opportunity to thank and to recognize staff. Our office manager, Susan Zavallo, is the director of this program. I have to really say, she was the brainchild of it. She worked behind the scenes, is producing and directing this right now. We're going to be seeing Susan in front of the camera a little more as we continue. And then Maura Aldridge, who is Vice President of Membership and Tourism, is also responsible for a lot of the filming that went on in this initial show. But we're going to see her in front of the camera as well. We're going to be going around visiting our members and doing what we can to highlight all those members who want to be included in this program. We're hoping to do this on a monthly basis. And if you're interested in being on this television program, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We want your ideas. We're very much interested in talking to our member businesses. We're very much interested in highlighting activities and happenings that are going on in Falmouth, and to highlight the organizations and the great things that make Falmouth such a great place to live, work, and to visit. So in closing, what we'd also like to do is thank FCTV, Deb Rogers, the staff at FCTV, the board of directors here, for providing us this opportunity. It's great fun shooting this first show. We're really excited. We're anticipating a lot more going forward. We're going to be working diligently to bring you the best possible program that we can. I think that as we practice more, we'll get a little more interesting, and we're hoping that you'll tune in and continue to watch Coastlines, the television show from the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. Thanks very much for watching.